Good morning, Prospects, and welcome to a special episode of Prospects TV. My name is Justin Gervais. Today we are joined by Coach Chris Mann, Coach Cody Ortega, Prospects General Manager Jim Gervais, and we have a special announcement to bring to you. Rhode Island Prospects will be joining Scorpions Baseball and becoming Scorpions Northeast General Manager. What does this mean for the program?
Well, it's a great opportunity for our organization and most importantly our players and player families. Coach Ortega and I over the last 18 months have been exploring and looking for new opportunities for our organization to expand our network of coaching recruiting opportunities, our network of allowing our players to participate in larger, more national tournament events, and also, most importantly, getting exposure and relationships for southern schools where we've had a lot of requests from players and player families who really want to go to explore opportunities up and down the South Atlantic seaboard. Okay.
Awesome. And you know, as a player, Scorpions Baseball is a pretty popular name in the travel ball world, and prestigious at that as well. A top 5 nationally ranked program, and like you hinted on, the recruiting network that it brings to us, it's going to be phenomenal. Cody, can you speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I've known the Scorpions for a while. They've been around since, I believe, 1994. They originated in Orlando, Florida, and you know, played with a bunch of guys. Obviously, you can watch a bunch of guys that have played for Scorpions in the past, and I think the biggest thing that Jim, myself, and Coach Mann talked about was we've wanted to do this for a while. We've wanted to be about the kids and making them have better connections with schools down south, out west, and everywhere else. And now that we're at this point in our program, this is the perfect opportunity for us. They're a high-class organization ran by awesome people. They obviously are a top 5 nationally ranked program, and that says a lot right there. But ultimately, their methods are exactly what we're looking for. They share the same qualities that we share. They want to make sure that the kids are having the opportunities that they can. They can allow us to expand on our opportunities with them, and that's what the biggest catch is.
Awesome. How do you think the recruiting network will affect you directly as a coach and for your players, helping them get to the next level?
You know, it's a great opportunity to be able to affiliate with a program from the South, and that has so many connections across such a big part of the country. So for our guys, I think it opens the doors to some schools that, you know, may have been a little bit harder for us to get in touch with, allow us to showcase guys in some different places and in some tournaments that we wouldn't have been able to get into. That, you know, like Jim and Cody were talking about the last 18 months, we've been trying to explore ways to get into different tournaments and explore new ventures for our program and for our players.
Absolutely. And you know, I have personal experience trying to gain exposure down in different parts of the country, particularly down south, and it's definitely not easy. You have to have the right connects. You have to know some people that can open a door for you, and you know, being a part of Scorpions Baseball now just opens the door wide open for all of our prospect players, and it really helps them get to the next level, somewhere where they want to be, where they can enjoy not only going to school, get great education, but also play great baseball.
And to build on that, what was interesting about this opportunity when I met with them a short while back was, as interested as we are in taking advantage of those connection and opportunities in the South Atlantic states, they are hungry for the same relationships and opportunities here in the Northeast Corridor. And they were very impressed with looking at our recruiting class placements, the alumni list that we have, where our kids are going to school now here, because they also have a lot of very strong academic athletes down there who want to come up to the Northeast and play in the schools up here as well. So it's really a win-win for both operations.
Yeah, and I think that, again, the grass is always green on the other side. You know, our kids don't realize how fortunate they are to be in the Northeast with high academic schools, multiple level schools to participate with. It's not just Division I, it's the opportunity to play D1 all the way down to D3 and even some good junior colleges. And you know, the partnership that we've created with the Scorpions is just going to open doors to everything, allowing our guys to, you know, go down there and showcase in their specific Scorpion showcases, them to come up and be a part of our showcases. It just opens the doors to a lot of opportunities for everybody.
Absolutely, and this is a great partnership because both organizations, you know, we're merging together, and I mean, we're both focused on the same things. We're both player first, recruitment and development first, and that's really our MO and what we've been striving towards, and not only why they had interest in us, but also why we want to join together with them as well. So let's talk a little bit about how this relationship occurred. Cody, I know you they reached out to you to start, so what was that like?
Yep.
How did the process begin?
Like I said, I've known the Scorpions organization for a long time. When we were playing down in Perfect Game, Florida, you know, we had 4 teams down there, and that was at West Palm Beach and the Perfect Game Endless Summer Classic, and we ran into one of their affiliates, Ernie Gonzalez, who represents Scorpions South, and you know, it's one of those things where when you're coaching against someone, and Chris is going to testify to this, when you're coaching against someone and you see that the coach knows what they're doing, you're automatically impressed. Like it already says, like, okay, this organization knows what they're talking about.
Yep.
And coaching against Ernie, he was phenomenal. It was a great game. We shared a lot of the same qualities. Terminology was very much the same, and so on and so forth. So we got to talking a little bit, and sure enough, you know, there was a recommendation made, and the ball started rolling from there. So, you know, I'm very proud of our guys for representing our program the right way. You know, it speaks a lot to their character for an organization such as the Scorpions, being top 5 in the country, wanting to, you know, talk to us based on the way our kids played the game, the way we handled the tournament, not just from one team. You know, it was everybody. All of our teams were extremely competitive. We talked about Coach Mann's team being 16 and 18U team, 18U division, you know, losing 2 games by 1 to 2 runs.
Yep.
You know, so Coach Brooks's team, 17's going 3-1, beating an FTV powerhouse team. You know, Coach Trottier's team, which was same thing, semifinals of the 15s, and then our 14s ended up winning the whole thing in the 15 division. But it was just a lot of compliments thrown our way based on the quality of the organization, not just one team. And that's what the Scorpions are.
Absolutely. You know, from a player's perspective, I've played against the Scorpions before, and when you're playing them, you know about it.
Yeah.
You know, like a week before the tournament, you say, we're playing Scorpions, all right, we got to prepare for that game. You know, that's going to be a legit game, going to be a legit team, because, you know, they're programmatic about it. You know, it's a culture thing there, and that's what we're all about too. So that's just one of the reasons why this is a really good fit. What are some of the other reasons why this is a really good fit for our program and our players?
Well, I think that in addition to what we've just touched on, there's some other major recognizable relationships that we're going to be able to form. One, in fact, is the relationship that now will be available with Marucci Sports.
Yeah.
Marucci is a primary sponsor of all the Scorpions Baseball Club programs throughout the country. They bring a whole nother level of relationship opportunities as well as very high quality gear to the table. They also have a network of Marucci clubhouse baseball facilities throughout the country. They're building a brand new one in Orlando, which by the time this airs most likely will be finished, and I had a chance to visit there, and it's a highly impressive facility. It just gives all the players all the tools they need to be successful. And Marucci also just brings a whole nother level of professionalism to all the operations, and they're not only focused about the high school level players, but they're really also focused on the developmental of the youth players, the players from 8 years old all the way up to 8th grade. And we spent a lot of time talking about youth development philosophies, and there's just a lot of common ground.
Absolutely. And you know, like you hinted on it, being part of a program, of an organization, and a company that is on the front edge of technology in baseball, you know, this new era of baseball, development's changing, the way we use technology to integrate with our swings and with our pitching and everything with the game. Being a part of something that's on the cutting edge of all that stuff is huge, not only for our players to get ahead of the curve, but also, you know, for our program as a whole and for our training. And it's a great resource for all our kids to have.
Scorpions are very focused on consistency and the same recipe for success being implemented throughout all their programs. They hold a national coaches conference in December where they bring everybody into Orlando, and they immerse everybody for a couple of days just into what's working well, what's new on the cutting edge. It's really about bonding, rapport, idea sharing, and most importantly, how do we then bring that to the players?
And that's the thing, we want what's best for the players, We've talked about it before. This industry is an interesting industry. Like everything else, people have different perspective, and we have been, let's be honest, we've been asked by other organizations to join, and become an affiliate and do things like that, and we've just not felt the right fit.
Yeah.
It's been great. We've had top 10 organizations talk to us before, and it's been an honor, but it's just, in the end of the day, when we talked about it, it was like, you know what, like, there's a quality that we want to assure to our kids. And when the Scorpions came into the picture, it was almost like without hesitation, speaking with, Matt Gerber, Janet Weber, Bob Reichman, the CEO, and it's just like, you feel like it's exactly what we're looking for and exactly how we do things.
Exactly.
And it's awesome to see a nationally ranked program not caring about, winning national titles and all this stuff, but instead, how can we send kids to college? What's the right academic fit? What's the best product they can use? What are the best tournaments? The developmental aspect, which is our big thing here. The right coaches, the right development, what's going to allow them to not only get to college, but when they get there, fit in and be ahead of the game compared to other players.
Absolutely.
All those things were just huge deals with part of this.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the biggest thing. Like, as a coach, we want to develop in our program, and that's our first goal. And goal 2 is getting guys to college. And the biggest part of that goal is guys are going to walk in and play, and guys are going to walk in and be ahead of the game and be ready, which is something that the Scorpions have represented for a long time and that we've really tried to embody here. So I think that, for me, is the biggest fit, is that we share that quality. Like, we want guys to go to the next level, but we want guys to play at the next level and be successful, not just have a name. Like, but no, I want you to go and be somebody.
Absolutely. We share a lot of common values, and that, like you guys said, that was pretty much the main reason why we started this transition, and we joined together with them. So we talked about what Scorpions Nation does bring to us. There's more information on scorpionsnation.com, correct? Scorpnation.com. So now, what does the future look like for Rhode Island Prospect players and the Rhode Island Prospect organization going forward?
Well, as an organization, we have 2 brands right now, the Rhode Island Prospects and Seawolves Baseball Club. Those 2 will transition to Scorpions Baseball Club. So what that means is that everybody will be in the Scorpions family.
Yep.
That's the first thing. What it also brings is there's another relationship that they also have, which will be part of the program for all of our players, which is called Aces Nation. And that's a very strong recruiting opportunity for the players to build a profile, maintain their profile as they age through the system, post videos, connect with coaches, qualify and search for different schools, so on and so forth. And there's more details on that at acesnation.com, but that also was something that was of strong interest for us.
And again, when we discuss this with our families that are in the program, Seawolves and Prospects, we will send out an email that states everything that's going to be happening with the process. There are a million things that is exciting about this that we're not going to touch on right now, because we'd be doing an hour-long podcast. But in terms of what it brings to our organization for our current players, again, it's just high quality. We've had it for a long time here. We've had a development aspect. It's just putting the icing on the cake now. We talked about it, the gear and everything else. But, we've talked about some new ideas for next year that we won't get into right now, but it just brings a lot more opportunity to our players, and we're even going to, go down to our 11s and 12s and younger teams, and we're going to be changing the game a little bit with that in terms of what's the norm here in the Northeast. We're going to, go with more of a developmental aspect, and we have a few surprises that I think is going to be, game changer for that age group. And in terms of the prospect guys that are older, it's the same format, but it's a whole nother level. We're talking about national tournament bids that are automatically handed to us. We're also discussing, showcase opportunities, being able to go play down south and then be able to participate with some things that Scorpions do down there. It's just again, it's a quality product right now. Just throw some icing on it. That's all you get.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There was a lot of common ground from day one.
Yeah.
Philosophically, we're both of the same mindset, and that's what makes it a good fit. That's what makes it a good fit.
Awesome. So So that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for coming out. Prospects Nation, becoming Scorps Nation.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more info. Check your emails for emails we'll be sending out. And thanks for tuning in. See you next time.